15 signs you have low oxygen levels. Hey, have you ever stopped to think about how vital oxygen really is? It's easy to take for granted, right? But here's a shocker. Even a slight drop in your blood oxygen levels can quietly trigger serious health problems long before you notice anything wrong. Around the world, millions suffer from conditions linked to low oxygen, often called hypoxia, and many don't even realize it's happening until complications show up. This is especially true for people with lung diseases like COPD or asthma, heart conditions, or even those living at high altitudes. Low oxygen doesn't just make you feel tired. It can affect every cell in your body and slowly damage organs, leading to issues like brain fog, heart strain, or worse. What's tricky is that early symptoms can be subtle or mistaken for something else, which is why catching these signs early matters. The good news? There are natural ways to support your oxygen levels before things get out of control. So, let's dive into the 15 signs that your oxygen might be running low and what they mean for your health. First up, if you notice persistent shortness of breath that doesn't seem tied to exercise or obvious causes, pay attention. Oxygen is the essential fuel that powers every muscle and organ in your body. When oxygen levels drop, your body struggles to meet its demand, making it harder to perform even simple tasks. This often shows up as shortness of breath or a heavy, labored feeling when you breathe. At first, it might be mild and easy to ignore. Still, over time it can gradually worsen, especially during activities that used to feel effortless, like climbing stairs or walking short distances. While this is commonly seen in people with lung conditions such as asthma or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, or heart problems like congestive heart failure, it can also affect otherwise healthy individuals under certain circumstances. When your body isn't getting enough oxygen, it triggers a survival response. Your breathing rate increases to try and bring in more oxygen, but if the underlying issue persists, it can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and even organ damage. If you notice ongoing shortness of breath without a clear cause, it's a warning sign to check your oxygen levels and overall health before it becomes more serious. Another key sign is a bluish tint around your lips, fingers, or toes, called cyanosis. When oxygen levels drop, your blood carries less oxygen-bound hemoglobin, causing a noticeable bluish or purplish tint on your lips, fingers, or toes. This is called cyanosis. It's a clear sign your tissues aren't getting enough oxygen, which can lead to serious issues if ignored. This happens because oxygen-deprived blood is darker, so those areas appear blue. Cyanosis often affects people with lung diseases like COPD, pneumonia, or heart defects, but it can also occur in healthy people at high altitudes or in extreme cold. Studies show cyanosis usually appears when oxygen saturation falls below 85%, which is a dangerous level requiring prompt attention. While cold or poor circulation can cause similar discoloration, cyanosis specifically signals low oxygen. Using a pulse oximeter can help confirm if oxygen levels are low. Recognizing this early is crucial because low oxygen can harm vital organs like the brain and heart. So, if you notice this blue tint, don't ignore it. Getting checked quickly can prevent serious complications. Feeling fatigued for no clear reason? That's your cells begging for oxygen. Oxygen plays a crucial role in creating energy inside your cells, especially within tiny structures called mitochondria, often called the power plants of the cell. These mitochondria use oxygen to convert nutrients into energy that fuels everything you do. When oxygen levels drop, the mitochondria can't produce enough energy, which leaves you feeling tired, weak, and low on stamina. This isn't just about feeling a bit sleepy. Chronic low oxygen can seriously impact both your physical strength and mental sharpness. Research has shown that people with long-term oxygen deficiency often struggle with everyday activities that once felt easy, like walking, concentrating, or even thinking clearly. This energy shortfall happens because, without enough oxygen, your cells switch to less efficient ways to produce energy, which just can't keep up with your body's demands. So, if you're constantly feeling exhausted without a clear reason, it might be your body signaling it's not getting the oxygen it needs to keep your energy levels up. Headaches popping up frequently might also be linked to low oxygen levels. Have you ever wondered why you get headaches that seem to come out of nowhere, especially when you're hiking or flying? The brain is incredibly sensitive to even small drops in oxygen levels. When oxygen is low, the blood vessels in your brain widen or dilate to try and bring in more oxygen. This dilation can trigger headaches, sometimes mild, but other times quite intense. If you notice headaches that get worse with changes in altitude or physical activity, it's a good idea to think about whether low oxygen might be the cause. Research shows that oxygen deprivation affects brain function quickly, and headaches are one of the earliest warning signs. So next time you experience unexplained headaches, especially in situations where oxygen might be lower, pay attention. It could be your body signaling it needs more oxygen to function properly. Next, dizziness or lightheadedness often accompanies low oxygen. When your brain doesn't receive enough oxygen, it can't work the way it's supposed to, which can cause problems like dizziness, confusion, or even fainting. This happens because oxygen is essential for your brain cells to produce energy and communicate effectively. Without enough oxygen, your brain's ability to maintain balance and focus decreases, making everyday activities more challenging. These symptoms are especially risky if you're doing things that require full attention, like driving or using machinery, because they increase the chance of accidents. Studies show that even mild drops in oxygen levels can affect cognitive function and coordination, highlighting how sensitive the brain is to oxygen shortages. If you start feeling lightheaded or disoriented regularly, it's a strong sign your oxygen levels might be too low. Keeping an eye on these symptoms and seeking medical advice early can help prevent serious incidents and protect your brain health over time. Rapid heartbeat or palpitations can also be a signal. When oxygen levels in your blood drop, your heart has to work overtime to deliver enough oxygen to your body's tissues. To make up for the shortfall, it pumps faster and harder, which can cause your heart to race or beat irregularly. This increased workload isn't just uncomfortable. It puts real strain on your heart muscle. Over time, this extra effort can lead to serious heart problems, including arrhythmias, heart failure, or worsening of existing conditions. People already dealing with heart disease or high blood pressure need to be especially careful, as their hearts are more vulnerable to the stress caused by low oxygen. Research indicates that sustained low oxygen levels can increase the risk of cardiovascular complications by making the heart work inefficiently and increasing inflammation. If you notice your heart pounding unexpectedly or feeling irregular, especially along with other symptoms like shortness of breath or fatigue, it's important to get checked. Catching these signs early can help prevent long-term damage and keep your heart healthier for longer. Chest pain or tightness isn't always a sign of a heart attack. It can also happen when your heart and lungs aren't getting enough oxygen. Have you ever experienced a sharp or heavy feeling in your chest that gets worse when you're active? This kind of discomfort can be a warning sign that your heart isn't getting enough oxygen. When oxygen levels in your blood drop, your heart has to work harder to pump blood and deliver oxygen throughout your body. This extra effort can cause strain on the heart muscle, which often shows up as chest pain or tightness, especially during physical activity. If this happens frequently, it's not something to ignore. Low oxygen can gradually weaken the heart muscle, increasing the risk of serious problems like heart attacks or heart failure. People with existing heart conditions need to be even more cautious because their hearts are already under stress. Studies show that low oxygen levels can cause the heart muscle to suffer damage over time if left untreated. So if you're noticing this chest discomfort regularly, it's important to get evaluated early to protect your heart and overall health. If you notice swelling in your feet, ankles, or legs, it might be related to low oxygen affecting your circulation. Have you noticed swelling in your feet, ankles, or legs that just won't go away? This could be a sign that your body is struggling to deliver enough oxygen to your tissues. When oxygen delivery is poor, your body sometimes reacts by allowing fluid to leak into surrounding tissues, causing swelling known as edema. This often happens in people with heart failure or chronic lung diseases, where the heart or lungs can't pump or oxygenate blood effectively. The extra fluid buildup signals that your body isn't managing oxygen transport efficiently, which can make daily activities uncomfortable and worsen your overall health. Research shows that edema affects millions worldwide with heart or lung conditions, and it's a key sign that these organs aren't working optimally. If you experience persistent swelling along with shortness of breath or fatigue, it's important to get checked. Early detection can help manage the underlying cause and improve oxygen delivery before complications like severe fluid retention or organ damage occur. Confusion, memory problems, or difficulty concentrating can all stem from low oxygen to the brain. The brain relies on a steady supply of oxygen to keep all its cognitive functions running smoothly. When oxygen levels are chronically low, brain cells don't get the fuel they need, which can lead to symptoms like brain fog, memory problems, and difficulty concentrating. These issues aren't just frustrating. They can seriously affect daily life, making it harder to work, learn, or even carry on conversations. Research has shown that people living with long-term oxygen deficiency often report these cognitive struggles, which can lower their overall quality of life. This happens because oxygen is essential for energy production in brain cells and for maintaining the delicate balance of chemicals that support thinking and memory. Without enough oxygen, those processes slow down and the brain's performance drops. This is particularly common in individuals with lung diseases or sleep apnea, where oxygen levels dip during sleep or activity. If you're finding it hard to focus or remember things, low oxygen could be a hidden culprit worth exploring with your doctor. If your sleep is disturbed by frequent awakenings, gasping, or choking sensations, you might be experiencing episodes of low oxygen during the night. Sleep apnea is a widespread condition where your airway repeatedly collapses during sleep, temporarily cutting off your oxygen supply. This interruption means your body and brain aren't getting the oxygen they need throughout the night, leading to fragmented sleep and chronic oxygen deprivation. If left untreated, sleep apnea can raise the risk of serious health problems like heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke. It also causes daytime fatigue, making it hard to stay alert, focus, or even stay awake during everyday activities. Studies estimate that millions of people worldwide suffer from sleep apnea, many without even knowing it, putting them at risk for long-term complications. The good news is that with proper diagnosis and treatment, like CPAP machines or lifestyle changes, oxygen levels can be stabilized, reducing these risks. Suppose you or someone you know snores loudly, wakes gasping, or feels excessively tired during the day. In that case, it's important to get evaluated for sleep apnea before the oxygen shortage leads to more serious problems. Cold hands and feet are another subtle sign. When oxygen levels drop, your body instinctively tries to protect vital organs by conserving heat, which it does by narrowing blood vessels in your hands and feet. This reduces blood flow to these extremities, making them feel cold, numb, or even tingly. While this response helps keep your core temperature stable, it can also be a sign of ongoing oxygen shortages in your body. People with chronic lung or heart conditions often experience this because their bodies are struggling to deliver enough oxygen-rich blood to all areas. Studies show that persistent cold or numb extremities affect a significant number of individuals with low oxygen levels, especially in colder climates or during physical inactivity. This symptom isn't just uncomfortable. It can hint at more serious problems with circulation or oxygen transport. If you notice your fingers or toes regularly feeling cold or numb without obvious causes like cold weather, it's a good idea to get checked. Early attention can help address the root causes and improve oxygen delivery before complications develop. Chest congestion or chronic cough, especially with sputum production, can indicate lung problems that reduce oxygen intake. Conditions such as chronic bronchitis and pneumonia can seriously disrupt how your lungs absorb oxygen, leading to ongoing breathing difficulties. In chronic bronchitis, inflammation causes your airways to become swollen and clogged with mucus, making it harder for oxygen to pass into your bloodstream. Pneumonia, on the other hand, fills parts of your lungs with fluid or pus, reducing the space available for oxygen exchange. Both conditions decrease the amount of oxygen your blood can carry, causing symptoms like persistent coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. Studies reveal that these lung infections and inflammations contribute significantly to low oxygen levels in millions of people worldwide. If left untreated, they can lead to chronic low oxygen, which stresses your heart and other organs. People with these conditions often feel fatigued and struggle with physical activities due to insufficient oxygen delivery. Early diagnosis and proper treatment are crucial to help restore lung function, improve oxygen absorption, and prevent long-term complications. If you're noticing a loss of appetite or unexplained weight loss, it could be linked to low oxygen levels affecting your metabolism. Have you ever noticed a loss of appetite or unexpected changes in digestion when you're feeling unwell or short of breath? When your body's oxygen supply is compromised, it shifts its focus to protect vital organs like the brain and heart. This survival mode often suppresses your appetite because digestion requires energy and oxygen, which your body now needs to divert elsewhere. At the same time, oxygen deprivation can affect how your gut absorbs nutrients, making it harder for your body to get the vitamins and minerals it needs. Studies have found that people with chronic low oxygen levels, such as those with lung or heart diseases, often experience weight loss and nutrient deficiencies because their bodies aren't processing food efficiently. This can create a vicious cycle where poor nutrition further weakens the body's ability to carry and use oxygen effectively. If you're experiencing unexplained loss of appetite along with other symptoms of low oxygen, it's important to address it early to support your overall health. Restlessness or anxiety sometimes arises from low oxygen because the brain reacts to oxygen deprivation by triggering stress responses. Have you ever felt restless or suddenly anxious without any obvious reason? Sometimes, this isn't just in your head. It could be linked to low oxygen levels in your body. When the brain senses it's not getting enough oxygen, it can trigger stress responses as a way to alert you to the problem. This reaction often causes symptoms like a racing mind, irritability, or even panic attacks that come out of nowhere. Research shows that oxygen deprivation activates the body's fight-or-flight system, releasing stress hormones that heighten alertness and anxiety. People with chronic lung or heart conditions, or those exposed to high altitudes, frequently experience these feelings because their brains are trying to compensate for the lack of oxygen. Understanding that these symptoms might be tied to low oxygen can help you seek the right treatment instead of just treating the anxiety itself. If you notice sudden bouts of restlessness or panic without clear triggers, it's worth checking your oxygen levels to address the root cause. Last, and another sign of low oxygen levels is difficulty concentrating or mental fatigue that develops gradually throughout the day. When your body isn't getting enough oxygen, your brain's ability to process information and stay alert slows down. This can make simple tasks like reading, problem-solving, or even holding a conversation feel much harder than usual. Scientific studies show that even mild decreases in oxygen levels can impair cognitive performance, reducing attention span and slowing reaction times. This symptom is common in people with chronic lung diseases, anemia, or those living at high altitudes. Unlike sudden confusion or dizziness, this mental fatigue can sneak up slowly, making it easy to overlook at first. If you find yourself constantly zoning out or struggling to focus despite getting enough sleep, low oxygen could be a contributing factor. Addressing the underlying issue early on can help restore brain function and improve daily productivity and quality of life. Now, understanding these signs is one thing, but why do they happen at the biological level? It all boils down to how oxygen travels and supports your body's cells. Oxygen binds to hemoglobin and red blood cells and is carried through your bloodstream to every tissue. When there's not enough oxygen, or if the lungs or heart can't deliver it effectively, your body cells struggle to perform their functions. The mitochondria can't produce energy efficiently without oxygen, leading to fatigue and weakness. The brain, needing constant oxygen, signals distress through headaches and confusion. Your heart races, trying to compensate, and your skin color changes as oxygen-poor blood circulates. In daily life, you might notice low oxygen symptoms when climbing stairs, flying in planes, or moving to high-altitude areas. Being aware of how your body feels during these situations can help you catch issues early. If you suspect you have low oxygen levels, it's always best to seek medical advice and possibly get a pulse oximeter reading for accurate assessment. Taking low oxygen seriously can be a game changer for your health. It's all about tuning into your body's signals early and acting before things get tough. So keep an eye on those signs, nourish your body well, and breathe deeply. Your cells will thank you.